Hi, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. Hope you're excited for the game that's going to kick off in a couple of hours' time. The Europa Conference League semi-final first leg against AZ ALKMAAR at London Stadium. 62,500 sellout capacity. It's going to be fun. And the Bakers are going to be there. Anton and family. It's a family affair. So it'd be nice to see Anton as well. As we always do, a couple of hours before kickoff, we put together one of us or both of us puts together all three of us actually, our predicted 11s. And to be honest, I think this is going to be probably the easiest 11 I think I've ever predicted. I'll be honest. I think the result on Sunday against Man United, I think the majority of that team, if not all that team bar one player, will be starting tonight. And then maybe there'll be a bit of a change around for the Brentford game. I think that's going to be quite an interesting 11 to try and predict, and then back to full strength for the return leg in Holland, in the Netherlands. So let's start off. Let's rattle through this. So in goal, it's Areola. Areola is the European. He's the cup goalkeeper. Fabianski is the Premier League goalkeeper. He's the European goalkeeper. Be interesting to see what happens when they get to the final. Although I imagine Moyes will keep Areola in terms of being between the sticks. And then we know when Brentford comes along that Fabianski will be in goal. And then the return leg, the second leg of the semis, Areola will be back in. And then obviously Fab will be back in for the Leeds game, bar any injuries. But yeah, he's starting every game in the Europa Conference League, I believe, this year. So it will stay the same. Now, I think more in terms of formation, more as he has for Europe, tending to go to a back three. Although I think the fact is because AZ ALKMAAR tend to play a 4-2-3-1. I think obviously we played so well with our normal 4-2-3-1. I don't think he'll deviate away from that. I don't think he'll deviate much away from the starting lineup as well, with the exception of Areola, really, in all honesty. So, in terms of right fullback, you've got, I think, Tilo Kehrer keeps his place. I hope he's fantastic against Man United, and hopefully he'll keep his vein of form going. I think he's unlucky, actually, to have been dropped. He came in for that Arsenal game and ended up playing really well as the right-sided centre-back of the back four. And then was dropped and then sort of came on for 10 minutes and then off for 10 minutes, last 20 minutes, things like that. He was back in for the Man United game, and I thought he was really good, and they didn't get much change out of him, did they, at all? And we'll talk about that right-hand side because I think that's really key for us tonight, that's for sure. Alongside him, I think he'll stick with the back four that he had against Man United. I think Naya Faged keeps his position. Now, in the press conference, Moisey alluded to, now, where's his actual words? His actual words were, I had him here. He said that in terms of Kurt Zuma, obviously who's potentially out. We know in terms of definite outs, we know Skamaka's out. Would not Cornet. In terms of Soufal, I mean, for those of you who are at the Man United game, he was walking around pre-match in I think it's a white hoodie and blue washed jeans, not hobbling around too much. And obviously he's around there as well. And if you watch Tunnel Cam, the little behind the scenes on the West Ham official YouTube channel, you'll see Zuma there as well. Again, didn't look like he was hobbling too much, but asked about Zuma, he said, which we covered yesterday, Kurt Zuma had his first day back in training yesterday. Or day before yesterday, so that would have been on the Wednesday. And he's just started back, and we are just seeing how his ankle is. There is a good chance that tomorrow is too soon, but we'll see how he is. Now, could Moyes be doing smoke and mirrors? I don't know, but I wouldn't risk him. I think the fact is we kept the back four. That back four kept Man United out to a clean sheet on Sunday. I think that back four could do the same again. And with all the pace and all the talent that Man United had, the Rashfords and Anthony's and Bruno Fernandes, and they brought on Sancho, and they had Weghorst starting, and all these, they couldn't break him down. Martial ended up turning up as well for them. So I think I've got full confidence with that back four at the moment. And then obviously when Zuma comes in, he may well get some minutes. Maybe the Brentford game, maybe. But I would expect Zuma to be back for the return leg in AZ Alkmaar's gaff at the AFAS Stadion next Thursday. I imagine we'll be back then. So Nath will stay there and Oggy will stay in that position. I think that will probably work quite well because then Oggy potentially could be playing, 3 games in 8 days. And then maybe even Zuma comes in against Brentford and gives Oggy that rest. I don't know. We don't know. But otherwise, it's a lot of games being played, or maybe you're bringing some of the 18s and 21s. Maybe obviously after yesterday, the national final with City, that's the 18s finished with for the season. So the under 21s. So the likes of KC, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but who knows? Left side, I think Aaron Cresswell keeps his spot. He hasn't done anything to lose it. Unlike Emerson, who I didn't think he did anything to lose it. But Cresswell's his boy, isn't he? So, Aaron, you'll have to watch out because the referee for the games later on tonight is a bit card happy in terms of red cards. So we don't want history repeating itself from the Eintracht Frankfurt match. Please, Mr. Cresswell. Midfield, I think it picks itself now. I think Souček keeps his spot. I think he does a lot of donkey work. He does a lot of stuff that goes under the radar. Yes, he's not the most skillful player. Yes, he might do 4 completely passes a game or whatever. But what he does do is he brings a bit of physicality. He brings a good energy, and he allows the likes of Paqueta and the likes of Rice to express themselves more in a forward attacking sense. I think our upturning form has been in hand with Paqueta's pushed more into an advanced role as well. So he hasn't got to feel like he has to do everything. He likes to do everything, but actually push him more into where he's going to be dangerous. In terms of defensively, he's wasted there. Souček can do that job. Or maybe if Souček goes off, then Downs can do that job. Paqueta's more useful for the team in that attacking perspective. And we're seeing, obviously, he's in a rich frame of form at the moment. Obviously, alongside Souček is Declan Rice. He's fit. He plays simple. And then Paqueta will play that sort of third midfielder, more push forward as a 10. I mean, the Man United game, he's playing as a second striker. He was, he could drift around a little bit, could get involved where he wants to get involved, drifting out onto the left, him and the person who'll play on the left wing. They've got a really nice understanding, which is just clicking at the moment. On the right-hand side, we put Bowen in. Bowen and Kira, I think that's a real avenue for us to attack in terms of the AZ Alkmaar's left side. They're without their left back, their first choice left back, who's suspended, got his 3rd yellow card against Anderlecht, the Hungarian international. Keres, I believe he's pronounced. It's not going to be pronounced that way, Russ. You know this. You've butchered that pronunciation. But I mean, he's very much like a young Aaron Cresswell, some may say. I think he's played almost 50 games this season. A few goals, 8 or so, 9 assists as well. So a lot of their work does go through there on the left-hand side with him. So with him not there and a substitute left back put in place, so to speak, that could be a real avenue for us to attack. And so just Kira's pace overlapping with Bowen, who's in a better form than he was at the beginning of the season, that's for sure. He was actually for the European press conferences, you have Moisey and a first teamer, and Bowen was the first teamer, and basically was asked about things like his form and how the team are looking. And he's just said he's coming back from after the World Cup break, he thinks now he's playing with more freedom. He's playing his game. He's getting us out of helping getting us out of the position that we found ourselves in come January, beginning of the second bit of the season. So he's in a rich frame of form. Wouldn't be nice seeing it. He hasn't get him a goal. Be nice seeing him get a goal. On the left hand side, I think Ben Rama, I thought arguably his best game for us for months against Man United. Thought he looked really up for it, controlled, wasn't overcomplicating things, was being flash when he needed to. Him and Paqueta had a really nice understanding now, isn't it? It works really well. And up front, Mickey Antonio, and obviously the physicality that Antonio brings. Sometimes the refs get a bit funny on him, and they might get a little bit card happy on him. The good news is all the yellow cards are taken off now, so the only way you can miss the next game is by being suspended, by being sent off. So it's less of a knife edge, so to speak, in terms of suspensions. But we know that European referees don't tend to like the physical nature of the Premier League, and Antonio brings that. So it's about doing it at the right time. But the other thing is, you might get a lot more like fouls. You might get more fouls for us, whereas previous in the Premier League, he gets kicked up the arse all the time. So does Bowen. The ref don't tend to get nothing back. In a European game, you do tend to get a little bit more. So that could be to our benefit. And that's my 11. I think it's pretty simple. I can't really see any major changes. Maybe you know, I can't see Zuma. He hasn't had any game time since his ankle recovery. I just think it's a game too soon for him. Yes, he does heal quickly, but he gets injured quickly as well. And what could be worse is by putting him out early, and then he might, might hurt the ankle again and then be out for the whole season. He's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Maybe, the other change, you could put Cresswell in. Emerson said a Cresswell maybe, but again, I think Cresswell's doing all right at the moment. He may go to a back three, and Tilo will be a right wing back, and then maybe no, I don't think it's going to happen. But anyway, let me know what you think. As I said, keep an eye on the channel. We'll be doing our review show outside the stadium, hopefully after the game, if I can find Anton and family. And until next time, take care, stay lucky, stay healthy, keep warm. I'm a bit nippy when the old sun goes down tonight. Come on, you bloody Irons tonight. Let's do a job on them. And obviously, it's only half time, unfortunately, isn't it? By the end of the game tonight. But yeah, come on, you Irons. Let's do a job. Let's keep some momentum going and see where we can take it. Much love.